one of the temptations we face is to go to extremes when it comes to theology, where sometimes we just love to talk about theology, and by talking about it, we think we're living it. To talk passionately about theology is not the same thing as to genuinely know God, right? That's a real temptation. On the other hand, some people seek to faithfully, obediently serve Christ in this world and engage and are active in evangelism, in social justice work, in the life of the church. But in that, they can belittle the need for reflective understanding of theology and the role of making sure what we're doing actually grows out of the soil of the Bible, grows out of some appropriate understanding of who God is, how he relates to his world, how we are to know and to love God and to serve him in his good creation in the midst of its brokenness. So really, partly what we're trying to do is to say, in theology, we both need theology and we need action. These are not options, they come together. One of the questions I'm interested in is why study theology in the first place? And Christians often, depending on their background and their experiences, some of them love theology almost instinctively. But for others, it almost sounds like a curse word or a bad thing or just this obscure philosophical debate. And that's maybe for the academics in the church. And really, I'm interested in trying to help everyone realize we all do theology. Theology happens at its most basic level. Theology is speaking about God. It is a word about God, and it is how we think of God. So when I talk to students about doctrine, and we begin a course on theology with this book, at the very end of the semester, very often it ends right before Christmas break. And I remind them the last day of class that when you go home, you've learned a lot this semester, and you now will be tempted to go and sit in Sunday school maybe, or listen to a sermon, and sit back and be critical, as if now you are in a position of judgment over. And when that happens, we fundamentally misunderstand theology. That this is a movement of grace and humility, and it seeks the good of the church. And so we don't see ourselves as outside of the church, but in service to the church.